Okay, well, thank you very much for inviting me, Eva. I've just set my clock here, so I have 8 minutes. So I will crack on, as they say in Scottish. We'll crack on. So I have 5 tips for you to cover, and we will start at the beginning because networking can be one of your most powerful business tools. One of your most powerful business tools to make connections, but most importantly, to get new business and new clients. But it can also be very frustrating, very frustrating. I almost gave it up myself all these years ago. So there are 2. Number 1 tip is there are 2 aspects to networking. It's very misunderstood, very misunderstood. The first one is that you go to events, or you go to conferences, or you have online meetings, or you have even one-to-one meetings. And most people think that's all you need to do, but sadly it's not. The other aspect to networking is your networks or your communities. But you need to go to events and meet people to fuel the people that join your community. You can't do that on your own. So that's why going to meetings and meeting lots of people at once is great. So that's the 2 aspects. Most people think networking is just going to meetings, and it's not. Okay? So that's first, number 1. Number 2, the biggest mistake out of all my hundreds of tips, the biggest mistake people make are they don't treat networking seriously. They don't treat it as a business tool. It's just something they can fit in. If they can make it to an event, they'll make it. And that is, it's just, you are doomed to failure. Doomed to failure. So please, my second tip is, please treat it as work. People that don't treat it as work, you will get limited results or no results at all. You will get frustrated. So please treat it as work. That is so, so important. If I was pushed, I would say that's the biggest mistake people make. They don't treat it seriously. Treat going to events as a client appointment. So that is number 2. Number 3, please prepare if you're going to events. Now, these events could be online, they could be in a venue, or they could be outside. Lots of networking going on outside now. You know, these are outside networking is very popular, net walking. So that's something to look into. But you need to know what you're going to. So you must prepare what the format is, who's going to be there, all that kind of thing. People turn up at events and they haven't a clue what they're going to. So it's really, really important. Know what you are going to, what the event is, whether it's online or whether it is offline. It's the same principles. So that is so, so important. I see people as an organizer turning up to events and they don't know what they're doing. They thought they were getting a meal. They thought there was a speaker. It's just crazy, crazy. They just don't know what they're coming to. Okay. So that is number 3. Number 4, at the meetings, this is a huge chunk of networking because networking is a process. I have made my master classes into the 5-6 steps to networking success. People don't understand it's actually a process. You need to follow a process to get really good results and returns. So it's a process, okay? Focus, my 1 top tip for when you're at meetings or online is focus on the benefits. The benefits that you provide to the person you're speaking to. Now, really importantly is don't focus on the mechanics. Now, your industry is fairly self-explanatory, but it's not, because sometimes people assume things wrongly. Okay, so, but think of it this way. If somebody asks you, what is it you do? Focus on what you can do for them in terms of your services. Not, we do this, 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 this. It's what, look at your existing clients. How do you benefit them? What are they happy about? So focus on the benefits, not the mechanics of what you do, because that can sometimes that can put people off. That's really, really important. And a general business tip as well is never, ever, ever assume that people know what you do. Or what, and this is quite relevant for interpreting actually, is never assume that people understand what you do. Sometimes I relay back to check that they understand what I've said. That makes sense. Really important in networking. And finally, number 5. When you go to a meeting or a conference or whatever it is, a business show, I'm just assuming that, do you know what follow-up is in terms of networking, so to speak, if you like? You get in touch with people after you've met them at events. That's called following up. Okay, my top follow-up tip is you need to do it within 24 hours. Following up is so important. It's a very weak area for people, it's a part of the process. Why would you go to an event and not follow up? But unfortunately, sometimes life gets in the way. We leave events with, whether they're online, full of it, being inspired, you're full of enthusiasm, and I'm going to follow up, and then stuff happens. Life happens, work or domestic, and you don't do your follow-ups, or you leave them a week. And that is just, you have wasted your time. Seriously, I learned the hard way. I used to be the world's worst networker. So please follow up within 24 hours. Now, there's various ways of doing it. We all have our own preferences, but my top tip is you need to put some time in your diary after the meetings. You need to be structured. It's a process to do your follow-ups. Because if you're not doing them, somebody else is. And if you're looking for, to have a meeting with somebody you've met, if others have got in first, their diary's full and you maybe miss out. Okay? So hopefully you find that of interest. I think that's pretty good for time. And, I'm happy to get in touch with you again, or you get in touch with me. Well, let's get connected on LinkedIn. Send me a message on LinkedIn. So I will wind it up there, Eva. I think that was not too bad. Thank you, everyone, for your attention.
Thank you very much, Colin. I'm not sure, Daniel, are we still recording? Are we okay?
I just stopped now.